Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever it happens to be, whenever you happen to be listening to this. We're back with another episode of the Tower of Ivory campaign.
Hooray!
We've been invaded by frogs, apparently.
Well, it is Wednesday, my
Lies.
dudes. Sir.
At any rate, yes. Skitch can't be with us this week. He had prior obligations, unfortunately. Sue.
We all have no life, so we're here.
Exactly. At any rate, yes, when we left off last session, you guys had defeated the bandits at the fortress, had recruited some of them into your forces because, well, you gave them a better deal than they would have had otherwise, so hey.
Join us. We have a great benefits package. Also, if you don't join us, we'll kill you.
Well, even if you didn't kill them, they would almost certainly be executed by the kingdom. So
Fair enough.
there was death, not death. Or
Death and dental? What?
so yeah. Hey, look, new job.
Yeah, well. Seemed like the right thing
Exciting
to do.
opportunities to see new places and kill new people.
Hey, that last one sells Mikhail perfectly. Seeing new places, less excited by. Killing new people, thumbs up. He's not called the Butcher for nothing. Also, he wields a giant fucking cleaver.
Knows his way around a steak.
He does that too, actually. Turns out he's actually a good cook on the side, but, you know.
See? Finding everyone's hidden talents.
He's got depth. He's got depths. He's not just a murdering monster. He's actually an excellent chef also. Takes pride in his work. And he actually probably knows how to do butchery also, because, you know, if you're a chef in this era, you probably should know how to actually, you know, be a butcher also. At any rate, you did that. You investigated. You found the hidden catacombs under the fortress, and convinced the undead down there to, well, sign up. Basically, mostly they'd say, "Hey, look, we're planning on using this place as an actual garrison fort." Wait, that means we could come out of the basement because it actually be used for its purpose, and that ties into our GS. Do you want to work for us? Sure. I mean, to be fair, they don't really have an option if you guys are the ones running the fort. But
it doesn't count as indentured servants if we're not the ones that did the deal in the first place.
Also, you guys are trying to break.
We are actively trying to break the geese that they have a choice. And
Yes.
servitude is filled with poo.
Stupid dogmatic deities. Or at least clergy. You'll find out someday, maybe, if I ever actually figure out exactly what's going on with that. But yeah, let's see. And yes, the former Bandit King's consorts have been freed and are headed back to the village with escort. And yeah, that's where we left off. So you guys were basically packing up to leave said fort, and possibly head back to the tower. I don't remember exactly what your plans were.
I think we were going to the village first to inform them that the bandits were gone,
Fair enough.
and then we were head back after that to give our reports.
And you left at least a partial garrison, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, doop. All right. Yeah. Sure. All right. You guys head back to the village. The village is still somewhat apprehensive with your arrival. I mean, they're just not used. Like, honestly, it's a bunch of, you know, things that are normally the things that come rampaging across the landscape and murder villages like us.
But we're awesome.
I mean, I'm not going to argue the point. I'm just pointing out. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
If we're mounted, do we catch up with the girls?
I don't remember you guys.
Mounted.
Oh, I don't remember us being mounted. I kind of assumed we would, but that's okay.
I don't remember either way. You guys never
Yeah.
specified actually specifically.
Yeah.
We were mounted at one point, but I think it might have been for our last mission, not for this one.
Yes.
Yeah, you're probably
Yeah.
right. I'm probably misremembering things.
All right. So
Leg havers. Lightweight leg havers, I should specify. Those of you who don't weigh half a ton natively.
yeah, there aren't a lot of beasts of burden. Like I guess an elephant probably could handle Steno.
It's okay. We'll get a moose and a cart. Fine.
Like an elephant might be able to handle Steno, but I've imagined it would complain immensely.
Well, you do that like between Steno and the Howdah, you'd have to build for her to stay on the back.
Yeah.
I mean, I just imagine Steno running around on those specialized pill bug things from Starship Troopers that carried the brain bug.
But yes, yeah. So you arrive back at the village. You eventually catch up with you. Basically, you arrive at the village about the same time as the former consorts do. The villager, their villagers are very happy to see one of the two of them because she's from the village originally. There is a little they're very welcoming to the other one because it's, hey, look, another peasant girl who escaped from the clutches of the bandits. Hooray! And they're apprehensive, but are very happy to hear the bandits are no. Okay, they're happy. They are apprehensive to see you guys. More than a little worried to see Mikhail and what's her name? Hang on.
I don't think they would be with us.
That's a pretty
I would definitely not be sending them off with just a garrison of our guys because that would be the time for them to try to make a break for it if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we went back to the tower first and then went out to the village.
Well, you had not gotten back to the tower yet. I know that.
All right, never mind then.
Well, if you guys want, you are more than welcome to say that the two former bandits are not with the group, and when you get to the village, that they are somewhere else.
I do know.
Yeah, we might keep them out of the village with the.
That is totally reasonable.
I do know that we sent the ladies forward with like a pair of
Yes.
scouts just to have as an escort. I imagine we could do the same with them.
I would
A
be
bit
more
a bit
apprehensive
heavier
about doing
armed,
that.
a bit heavier armed ones, granted, so that they don't pull anything. But
I'd still be a little bit like Mikhail and the archer lady proved themselves to be more than your typical Perret.
That's like guarding us with mooks.
Yeah,
Actually, almost literally.
that it would be literally guarding us with mooks. So
The village is not that far from
Yeah.
the tower currently, so we could literally just either have, I'll just stay with them. I'm
Okay.
not a diplomat. I'll stay with them while you guys, go talk to the villagers, and then
that
we'll
makes
just
sense. Yeah.
yeah, and then literally you guys will do that, and then come back to us, and we'll walk the remaining 20 minutes or whatever to get to the tower. So
I'm sorry. I'm flipping through my notes trying to find the name of the stupid archer lady because
start with a T, I think.
it did, but that's not helping. me.
Savannah?
That might have been it, but I want to see if I can find my damn section in the notepad that she was on.
Trevor.
No.
That is not it.
Savannah or Telvanna might have been the wizard.
I think the wizard had a V name.
Well, I can't find my sheet with all their names on it at the moment. Did I tear it out of my notepad? That's entirely possible, actually. Not that one. Oh well, not important. Not that important at the moment. I remember Mikhail, which just sort of stuck in my head.
Well, yeah, not important. Worst comes to worst, we can listen to an old episode. To figure it out.
I can just go back and listen to the last episode later
Yeah.
if I really need to. fuck, where'd that notepad go? The problem is that there's something on that piece of that particular notepad that I actually kind of want to have at hand. So give me 1 sec. Well, anyway, I'll look for it while we are handling the village. So yes, you are back in Sentha Village, which that's something I do have on my notes right here.
Hooray.
Nope. All right, so yes, you do not send the two former bandits in with you guys. Diesel stays behind with them. Again, so yes, the villagers, as I said, are definitely still a little bit apprehensive for the very simple reason that, again, as I said,
There are literal man-eating monsters coming into the village.
Yeah, that'd be why. Gnolls do not have the best reputation. Gnolls definitively do not have the best reputation amongst, among most villagers. Let's be real.
Yeah, we're fine.
Amongst the human peasantry.
Not just humans. Hell,
All
a
right,
lot of
humanoid
goblin
peasantry.
villagers would have be similarly apprehensive.
We're snack size. I'd say fun size, but everyone knows that's a lie.
No, goblins are absolutely fun-sized. It's just your definition of fun may vary.
There is nothing fun about being given less and lied to.
Thank you, Lewis Black.
At any rate, so in the village, but they are
We
very
are
happy.
back! We are taking care of bandits for you. And you are
Good.
getting girls back. Is good.
Yes. Well, again, they're very welcoming of the. They're very happy to see the one and the other. They don't. She's new, but like, yeah, another villager saved, another villager from another village saved from bandits. Cool. The village elder is, as I said, thank you. I'm very happy that that particular band of bandits is no longer a going concern.
No, it's fine. They are. There is no more problem. So we are having some of the spoils. What was yours? So we are giving it back.
We just go back to the cart. It's just full of like a mishmash of like food and other stuff.
Yeah, yes. The village elder will go over, sigh, and say, "Well, it'd be hard to tell with some of the the food stuff what specifically came from here, but I can tell you roughly what they took."
It's fine. We are giving you about the equal of what they are taking for foods.
Okay, that's great. As to the other stuff, he basically brings a bunch of the other sort of villagers over, and they reclaim a few bits and bobs from here and there. Nothing real. There's not a lot of the non-food stuff loot that belongs to the village. Like there's a particularly nice there's a couple of pieces of actually like really high quality farm gear that's in there that was probably taken out of sort of like frustration by the bandits.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, all you have is hoe? Fine, I'm taking the hoe. I'm not leaving empty-handed.
Basically, yes. Like the bandits didn't take like the older, not as good stuff because it's like, yeah, this is basically going to be in very short order just going to be a stick. So the villagers are very happy to get some of the better tools back. To be honest, and more than a little static about hey, look, we'll now have enough food to definitively make it through winter.
Aw.
I mean, they probably could make. They had plans to make it through winter with what they had. It just would have sucked.
Now they have spare.
Now they won't live in misery. during this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They won't be on
Ignatius.
basically they won't be on the fringe of starvation diet. Just merely,
And if it was a poorly written story, they'll blow it all today in a feast.
Like one of them recommends that, and everyone's just like, "Shut up, Dan."
we should have a feast. Are you daft?
Yeah.
But we've got all this food now.
No,
Let's go
we're going
eat
to
in
go.
the
We're now going to actually go make sure to preserve it. Okay, take the hams. Go cure those. Pack that stuff in salt. Pickle those. hang those out to dry.
So I am glad that you are being happy now. So next we are asking what is next step? Maybe setting up garrison because kingdom is not taking care of you. We can take care of you. If you are not wanting, that is okay too. Maybe come harvest, we send some engineers to be helping with irrigation and whatnots.
Wait, you have people who actually know how to do irrigation? The elder gives you a very, very appraising look. Like,
oh, not everyone is all nose and gorgons and like we are having many people at Tower.
Yeah, Ignatius kind of like waves, like, yeah, we have all kinds of people. Like not just tradesmen like me, but we also have people who know how to do something for a living.
Zoggy's gonna look up. You do realize I'm head of the engineering department, right?
See?
We're
Here's our
just
head of
like
engineering right here.
those and gorgons. Those are eating meat. Gorgons are immortal. Goblins are needing to farm.
I just love the fact that the undead guy's the one who said something about making a living.
It's 11.
Some of undead used to be farmers. They are knowing what they are doing, having many years to practice.
Because like the chief's like, yeah, we actually do have people who understand some things about irrigation, but a lot of our best and brightest were conscripted, and yeah.
It's good then. You are sending messenger to a tower over there when it's time to start thinking about such things. We are sending people out. Then we are buying your surplus for good price to be keeping Tower happy. Tower in return is keeping you safe and making your crops bigger.
The village elder blinks a couple of times. Fair price. You said that before, and you're saying it again now. Well,
what is market price? We
No. You're offering actual commerce.
Well, Tower may not have much use for money, but money is useful for things outside of Tower, like village. Yes.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Ignatius just looks at him like, yes, I understand how capitalism works.
No. They're capitalism. This is feudalism, suckers. People just show up and take the shit. And in theory, we get. Yeah, see. Oh god. At any rate, yes. You're offering them actual stuff for a share of the crops. The village elder is making sure what you're saying what you're actually saying.
And Mange is being totally honest. Like,
I know.
Maybe talk about discount this way. You are knowing how much you are selling to Tower. So maybe a discount of some sort. Then you are selling what you are not wanting to sell to Tower for a higher price at market. Yes, is good. We are getting people with better brains for monies and things than me for handling this.
Probably, yeah. Okay. We'll figure out who to send along to the Tower at some point. Where is it?
Oh, over hill. You are not missing it. It's big white towers, palisades, and everything. You are telling them you are from here. They are letting you in. We are having talk.
Okay.
We point to the tower, and there's just dark clouds around, and like when a bolt of lightning goes down, like, yeah, we live over there.
It's a motif.
Yeah, the weather's been real weird.
Branding is very important.
All right, so at the notion of sending a runner to the tower, Steno is going to she's going to take a piece of fabric that is of very high quality and very easily identifiable to being hers by anyone who is in the tower.
Yep.
And will present that to the elder and just say, you can use this as proof of identification.
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Be saying that Mange or Steno or Zoget or Ignatius is sending you. knowing our names.
Good. Dear Lord, we have neighbors who actually understand the value of an actual farming community.
It's important. You are making foods. Most of us are needing to eat. So it's good to have good relationship, yes? You are having problems with bandits? We are taking care of bandits, is what we are good at.
We noticed. You were gone for like a day.
We heard the screams.
They didn't hear those. It's a bit far away.
They may have heard the explosions.
That they actually probably did hear.
So is this where we start the whole speech about how monsters are really good people and humans are the real monsters?
No.
No.
I think our
That's
case
all
is rather
subtext.
evident.
Considering what we did to the people who didn't surrender at the fort, no, we probably shouldn't.
I will point out that you notice not all the humans are assholes either.
Mm-hmm.
I say for no particular reason.
Only the ones we kill.
No, you not that either. I mean,
I'm
most of
telling you
the
what, I'm
most of the
thinking
bandits
you
were
are-
assholes. That's fair. They're bandits.
I'm
I
telling
mean,
you what. I'm telling you what. I'm thinking you are needing garrison because King is leaving you high and drying. So you tell us if he's okay. Talk with your people. Then we put one out here to be taking care of you. So
I will discuss. We'll talk. Yeah.
if taxes are coming, you let us know. We are making sure you are getting your taxes back.
Well, taxes aren't due until next harvest. So
That is good. Have many time to talk over details and make sure all is good.
well, in theory, depends on how the war's going. I think.
Yes, the war. Between who?
Again, between the Kingdom of Durina
Yeah.
and the Iron Rod Empire.
Iron Rod. I always forget. I always forget the second one. I'm writing that down on my notes now.
I remembered Iron Rod. I didn't remember.
See, I
Durania.
remembered it because
Yeah,
it sounds like Arion Rod from IBO.
I remembered Iron Rod. I couldn't remember the other one.
Durina is just a random fantasy name. I mean, they both are really. Let's be real. By the way, thanks to the people who actually submitted names for like this sort of shit on the doc I made ages ago. That's been dear Lord, it's been a big help. But yes, the Iron Empire ruled over by Emperor Haldrak Iron King. Sorry, Haldak. That's what it is. Haldak Iron King, the Emperor of the Iron Rod Empire.
That sounds like a very hobgoblin-y name.
What? No. At any rate, so is there anything else you wanted to handle in the village at the moment?
Not really. Just wanted to let them know things are squared and
They are
make sure their
ecstatic
girls
to
got
hear
back.
that. They are ecstatic to hear that.
Establish that they are perfectly welcome to come by the tower and discuss things further.
They are very likely going to have a party, but not like a feast because they are not stupid. They know winter is coming. And while they have more, they now have enough food to not have to not to barely survive it. They'd really rather not like waste food to get back down to that level. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And farmers aren't stupid.
There's probably a small side scene where Ignatius kind of talks to a couple of the villagers about like where the various trade routes come in through here because he's still trying to figure out exactly where they're at.
Yep.
Because he's still got to like write to his family and everything, and he has no idea how to get in contact with them anymore.
Yeah.
And he's more than a little worried about that.
Yeah. Well, you given that you now know roughly where Durina is and where the Iron Rod Empire are, and you do pick up where a few of the trade routes that do come through here are. They don't get a lot of trade here because
Yeah, bandits.
Right, they're out in the middle of nowhere.
they used to get more trade, and then the bandits moved into that fort and disrupted all the trade routes. And if the kingdom wasn't at war with the Iron Rod Empire, they probably would have tried to smash bandits for that reason alone. You've disrupted trade. That's bad. Crush. But they've got bigger fish to fry, like this war they're fighting, and disrupting trade is not nearly as important when you're at war, right? Right?
Right. Um, yeah, he definitely does that, and then like he's all the just the ride home, he's kind of having like a panic attack. He's like, "How am I gonna talk to my wife? She's gonna kill me if she doesn't hear from me soon." He says that as the skeleton.
Yeah.
Oh, I was aware.
Yeah. So yeah. Actually, if you say that out loud, one of the scouts will look up at you. Well, boss, Iggy, you maybe you could rig up some sort of magic spell with the boss. He knows all sorts of spells like that, doesn't he?
Ignatius just kind of like just strokes his chin like he has like he used to have a beard there. He's thinking about it. He's like, that might be worth it. I really don't want to bother the boss with that right now, but it might come to that.
It's it's an emergency fallback plan. I totally get like wanting to send like personal mail and shit. Like that makes total sense. But if needs must.
I definitely imagine there's more than a few dead guys in the tower that are like in similar situations, considering what's been going on in this entire kingdom. There's just dead people everywhere coming back to life. And like, well, either everybody I know is dead and didn't come back, or the people I care about are alive and I can't go back to them. Oh shit.
All right.
Like there's a whole film strip about this in the Bone like orientation package. What to do now that you're dead and everybody you know isn't? Don't despair.
You're not boned with bone.
Bone.
Excellent. All right. Well, you arrive back. So yes, you rejoin.
You may be bones, but you're not alone.
Indeed.
Because your bones doesn't mean you need to be boned.
Look forward to a bright
that.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh my God, Gav.
Tomorrow.
Well, somebody had to put an end to it.
That was great.
Anyways, you arrive back within another day or so. You get back to the tower. You notice that the archer lady, whom I really wish I had a name for still, God fucking damn, where'd that go? I can't believe I lost that.
Temperance Pew Pew. That's her name now.
It did start with a T.
Pew pew.
It did start with a T.
She
but...
goes pew with her crossbow.
And then Gav went pow pow with his rifle.
I feel bad. I bullied her.
Well, don't feel too bad, Gav. It would have been basically the exact opposite if she'd gotten the drop on you.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
That was a fight that goes to who gets to go first.
Unlike me and the friggin' boss, are just like a series of me getting my ass kicked.
All right. I'm going to get my text doc up. Mikhail the Butcher. I'm calling her Talisa for now, and I can update it later. She's Talisa the Hunter for the time being because that is actually her job. Well, that was what her original. Again, she got into banditry through poaching.
Right.
Simple, logical steps.
Well, when you get arrested enough for poaching, you eventually develop a fuck everybody mentality to a certain
Would you like
degree.
to try poaching something different, like food and money?
Or eggs.
Yeah.
She is very sneaky and she's a superb shot. And she knows the terrain.
You made me think of all those like dumb Looney Tunes signs. No poaching, not even an egg.
But yeah, Talisa, you notice that she's sort of looking around, nodding. She says, "Okay, I think I." If you say so, the tower's over the hill there, right? And she says, "Where those thunder clouds are, right?"
Yes.
The swirling thunder clouds.
Yes.
Do those always happen?
Branding is important.
Not especially. It's more of a recent necessity given the relocation we recently underwent.
It's true. We're still a little unsure of the area. We're just trying to.
Because
You know-
I'm certain there wasn't a tower in that valley like a week ago.
Oh, there wasn't. There wasn't even one there yesterday.
Well, it's been a couple of days since you got here, but
Oh, well, fine.
travel times do exist.
Fine.
So there wasn't a few days ago. Okay. So you're saying a giant tower appeared in the valley out of thin air?
No, out of fat air. It's hard to hide tower in thin air.
Okay. Magic's a trip, man.
The tower didn't appear just out of nowhere. Clearly, there was some kind of magical wormhole phenomena that pulled the tower from its old location to here.
I'm saying
you
some
think-
very big worms, not one big enough to make hole for tower.
Simply consider that if you think it's strange to suddenly find a tower in this area, imagine how those of us within the tower felt when suddenly our entire tower and us were here.
Yeah, oh yeah, I totally get that. Magic is bullshit, man.
Yes.
I'm
Impressive.
just kind of
Magic is very impressive.
I'm just imagining Kadrix while this is happening. You just see him reading a book, and he notices his tea just kind of getting talked over. It's like, oh, my tea.
Peter,
Yes,
was the archer named Tyrella or Tyrella?
Talisa.
Tyrella sounds-
Tyrella, that's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah,
Torella.
I was like,
Tyrella the Hunter. Thank you, Nick.
Yep.
And I did, yep.
All right, we get to the tower. I'm going to assign I assigned the new guys to like various training officers. I'm probably going to stick Torella in with the scouts and rangers. Mikhail, I think, probably belongs in the shock troopers, and the other guys will find places for.
Shock troopers, you say? Mikhail's
Yep.
totally down for that. That sounds like fun. Scouts and hunters, yeah, that fits in with Torella. Yeah, she is down. It's like, wait, I get to go back to actually just being a hunter and shit. Sweet. That's so much more fun than doing banditry.
And I need to make a report to Kadrix about what's going on.
Yep.
And
So yes, you guys get back to the tower.
I'll be right back real quick.
All right, we'll be back in a moment. All right. Things that you notice when you get back. Diesel.
Yes.
You actually do notice something a little bit. So I mentioned the swirling storm clouds above the tower because that they occasionally show up when things need to be atmospheric because that's sort of the way things work.
Of course.
But
Yes.
they seem there's definitely something different about them right now.
The swirling storm clouds themselves?
Yes,
Hmm.
they look. Simultaneously, they look like they look more sort of they look slightly more gnarly and intense, but also like there's something like a little bit. They're a little bit more transparent, but not by because clouds are a little bit, but it's sort of like there's something. They seem a little bit almost very touch intangible.
Huh.
It's weird. It's really hard to put your finger on. I mean,
Well, yeah, they're clouds.
You beat me to my own joke. Thank you, Nick.
Diesel is basically just going to kind of like be staring up at them for a bit. because that's a very unusual thing to notice in general. So
Yes.
he's not really sure how to react to this. So you just kind of keep on looking up at him.
It just is that you just happen to notice them, and there's something weird about them, and that's sort of the feeling that what I describe is sort of the feeling you get looking at them, but.
So are they like super isolated clouds, or is it just like a cloudy day?
Well, I mean, it's a cloudy day in general, but like there's the really big sort of swirling thunderstorm that's over the tower that's been there for a few days.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just that
Diesel sees that the storm clouds around the tower look really weird. That's basically it.
like
Alright.
weirder than usual.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they always look a little unnatural because, swirling storm clouds above the top of a tower is a little odd. It's not a typical weather formation. You get back to the tower, and things otherwise seem to be fairly normal and the way things generally go at the tower. I mean, things are busy. There's a lot of work going on, making sure that nothing, like, they're making sure that there's no serious structural damage to the tower during the incident.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It appears, no, there wasn't. The earth-moving spells have brought the ground up over the basement so that you're no longer sitting on top of your basement above ground. You actually have a foundation again.
I do remember that.
Yeah, we were all kind of worried, like, hopefully those walls don't collapse.
Yeah.
And
Hope we don't have a storm. The whole tower will fall over.
you say looking up at the swirling storm clouds over the tower.
Yeah.
Fortunately, no, that didn't happen. You're back at the tower. Eric, you said you wanted to make a report to Kadrix. We'll get to that
Yep.
in a second. We'll see. Anything? So yes, that's what you want to do. Who's going? Is anyone going with him, or are you just are you just going on your own?
Ignatius is probably going with him too because
Fair
he's got
enough.
a better idea of the area.
Good enough.
Steno will also be accompanying.
Okay. Diesel and Zaga, is there anything you guys want to do in particular?
Yes. Diesel, might end up actually tagging along with the group that is going to see Kadrix, but he's not interested in the report. He actually wants to try and find, is her name Catherine, the princess?
Cynthia, I believe.
Cynthia. It was a C name.
Yeah, Cynthia.
Right, because I made the Garchomp joke, right? Okay.
Okay. Zagat, anything in particular you want to do?
No, not particularly. I mean, I can tag along, I suppose, but there's nothing specific I need.
Okay. If anything occurs, let me know, as usual.
Mhm.
All right. So you guys arrive at the tower and head on up to the up to Kadrix's laboratory/library, where he is. Honestly, right now you head in there and he's not anywhere he's not in the main room, which is where you normally would find him. You hear a muffled voice from the back. Cynthia, which shelf should these volumes go on? Fourth shelf from the back, sir. Right. Thank you.
I'll poke my nose around. Is bad time? I have a report of outside.
Oh, yeah. Let me just put these books on the shelf, Mange, and I'll be right with you. Yes.
It's good.
That goes there. That goes there. Oh, thank you, Philip and Steve. That will be a big help.
Our two
All right.
library rats.
Kadrix walks away, sort of, brushes his hands off on his robes. I've got to take a report from Mange and such. Cynthia, do you need anything else I can help you with afterwards? No, that'll be all right, sir. You go handle your report, and anything else that might come up, I'll make sure to get the last of the books organized. Oh, excellent. Yes. Mange. Oh, everybody, excellent. Pull up chairs. Have seats. Have seats. I'm sorry, I have nothing. Nothing. Oh, yes. And Steno, make sure to move that chair out of the way for Steno.
I'll move the
Steno's
chair out of the way
magic
for
giant
Steno.
beanbag.
And sorry. So I'll take these scrolls. Cynthia, there's some scrolls on one of the chairs here. I'll just put them on the desk over there. You can figure out where they should go.
Diesel is holding a chair now.
Cadrix will, as he's sitting down, looks at Diesel. You can set that down and sit in it, Diesel.
Oh. That's not why Diesel came here.
Well, if there's something else you need to do, you feel free to go handle that now.
Good.
So
Live for Cadrix! Die for Cadrix! And then he's going to walk off.
Yes.
Still getting used to things.
Oh,
I like his enthusiasm, though.
He's good.
He's a surprisingly good listener.
Oh, that's excellent. So Mange, you said you had something to report.
Yes, we are going out of tower for exploring to village.
Yes.
Yes. They are having problems with local lords taxing too much and bandits. We go take care of bandits. Survivors we are integrating into garrison for tower.
Oh, of the bandits.
Of bandits, yes.
Oh, interesting.
I'm thinking.
I'm sure the ones you recruited will suffice. Will work into the group quite well.
Yes, I have more way to finding places for more important ones for talents.
Excellent.
But village, I'm thinking, is good place for getting foods and such if we are here for a long time. Wanting to set up garrison if they are agreeing, and maybe send engineers over for when they are needing to for planting.
Yeah, that should work. Discuss the details of that with Rokesh. He'll know the right people to send along for the civil engineering stuff.
Is good. Wanting to make sure I talk to you about it.
Oh yeah,
first.
sure, absolutely, yes. But yeah, make sure to let Rokesh know. It'll be. Honestly, he's been a little bit worried about food supplies going forward, given our current relocation and disruption of our normal chains of supply.
Yes, it's very important. This is why I'm thinking village is a good place for starting.
I'm sure he will agree with you.
Also, bandits were in ruined castle fort in woods. Iggy is right term revenants in crypt.
I disconnected from Discord there very briefly because you wind that back a bit.
Oh, sorry. Also, they is fort in woods that bandits were using. A good place for a forward base. Having Iggy is right term for crypt guys, revenants or whites. What are we calling them?
I think revenants is what we're going to go with right now. It's your typical crew of ex-employees that are underneath a geese. That's how he says it. He says geese because he can't say it right. I can't say it right. It's geese. They're going to be there for all of eternity. We should probably get some wizards down there to break that. But they seem like they're interested in managing the place and protecting the area.
Cadrix
But are needing it to be fixed up first, so maybe engineers sooner than later over there.
Okay. Wait. Undead garrison under some sort of magical compulsion to defend the. Did they specify any details? Cadrix looked actually genuinely fascinated by this part.
So yeah, they mentioned that it was some old god of theirs.
It's a religious thing. Okay. So they were they buried there?
Yes, if you are doing good job in garrison, then getting honor of eternal servitude in basement.
The way that they embed
He makes sure to hold the two finger quotes honor.
You've done a good job. Now get in the basement.
That's
Eternal Servitude in the Basement sounds like a book title.
it's
Are
not
they
far-
naughty children? Are they being sent to the basement for all eternity?
all I would say is ask the pharaohs.
The way that the one we spoke to described the situation was there were 12 garrison commanders down there.
Okay. So it's tied into a religious thing. Did they specify which deity they served?
I think Seno took some of the iconography with her, or at least noted it.
Yes, you did. You noted
Alright.
it. You did look at it and know what it looks like.
All right, I personally don't remember what it was.
I did not
does.
name it. So
Okay, yeah,
It was
Seno will provide the outlined details of the whole matter.
all right, Kadrix will. Eventually, he'll listen to your description, sort of sketch. He basically gets he gestures and a quill and paper floats over and he sketches something out. Does that look like the symbol you saw, Seno? From what you're
About
describing?
that, yes.
All right, that. Huh. He cocks his head to one side. I don't know this icon. This
Well,
is
they did.
The impression from my understanding of my own age is this is one that no longer lives.
Oh, that could be a problem in freeing them.
We are doing what we can, though. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. At a minimum, just ignoring the fact that it is the right thing to do. I agree with you completely on this. Like that's sort of at a minimum, they've done their service at this point. Like seriously. But just the like the idea, like the actual like magical theory behind actually breaking a religious this sort of divine compulsion, but it's a divine compulsion attached to a dead god. Like I don't know of anyone who's done anything like this before. I have research to do.
Mage has a big grin on his face that Kadrix is so happy and excited about something.
There's research to do.
I'm
Mage is
so
good
glad
boy?
I'm finding things that you are liking, boss.
Excellent. Cynthia, I need all the books on dead gods, divine compulsions, and and anything on sort of magical compulsion just in general, and counter magic. Yes, that's it. You hear I just got those put away.
But one thing for you are getting started, boss.
Oh yeah, sorry. I do tend to get distracted by magical theory.
Important political situation. We are in Kingdom of Durnia, who is at war with Iron Rock Empire. Is where many of our hobgoblins are defecting from.
Oh yeah. I've heard of both those places.
Bigger problem than stupid kingdoms, though. Demaria might be in area. He is being near Iron Rock. We might be stuck in his place.
Oh. We're going to be when you talk to Rokesh, make sure to let him know that we're probably going to have to be expecting an envoy from Marunia then.
We'll be doing.
He will be aware of either a new nexus, whether there's a nexus here before we arrived, or the fact if we have landed on a new nexus and have apparently tied into it the way because we're tied into the nexus here, they'll notice that, and if it's a new nexus, they'll notice that.
Yes.
Now,
if I'm
so
not sure how you.
Sorry, go ahead, Eric. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
If Nemaria is being a problem, I have ideas for beating him back and maybe killing him. But you is in charge, and I follow your lead.
For the time being, let's stick with diplomacy if possible.
Is your call. I'm doing it your way.
Great. As it, if yeah, I'm. You know my feeling on all the other dreadlords. I wish they just leave me the hell alone. But at any rate, it's weird. As I said, he'll know that they'll know. Ooh.
We are getting people to work on this, so you can
Yeah.
do your research being happy.
Yeah. Well, also just. You should also, oh man, we should send someone to investigate whether the Nexus here is new or if it already existed. That be actually useful information to have. Is creating a Nexus, is it possible to create new Nexi? Interesting.
Is not what Mange is knowing. Mange is knowing killing and making guards work.
Indeed. Yeah. There's also a chance that either Durina or the Ironrod Empire might have wizards, sophisticated enough to notice a change in the ley lines that either situation would have caused. So we may have to. They might be aware of us arriving as well.
I'm stepping up perimeter guards and sending out and
that is an excellent idea. And I will set up some counter scrying spells after. Yeah. Cynthia, you don't have to get the books out immediately. I do need to set up a counter scrying thing first.
You are liking new librarian? She is working for you?
She is excellent. Cynthia, you're doing excellent work as usual. Thank you, sir.
I'm glad to be hearing.
Oh, no, she's fantastic. It is so much easier to find books.
It's making Mange very happy that you are happy. I'm glad to be seeing this.
Yes. And hopefully she's learning some stuff about magic from me, which is one thing she expressed that she was interested in. At any rate, yes. Unless there's anything else, I do need to get back to my get to setting up that anti-scrying spell.
Yes, we are going and carrying out things and setting up precautions and you are having good time with new research and new librarian.
Yes. If there's anything else the tower that anyone needs, just feel free to let me know, or at least let Rokesh know so that he can let me know what's important.
Yes,
he's very, very good at that.
I'm keeping you in loop, like they are saying.
Okay. That's a new phrase to me, but most of them are. Right. Anti-scrying spells. I'm going to need my crystal ball. Oh, is there anything else from anybody else here?
For a minute there, it looks like Ignatius is about to bring up the thing about possibly setting up the network. But he's he kind of backs down, thinking this is probably not the best time for this, considering everything else going on.
Steno has been looking a bit more morose than usual when the subject of bringing out the materials on dead gods came up.
Mm-hmm.
And at the dismissal of, the necessity of our presence, she will simply quietly slither out of the room.
Okay.
Mange is going to go find Rokesh, let him in on the skinny, and then he's gonna go check on Steno.
Okay. Boop. All right. So yeah, Rokesh. You find Rokesh pretty easily. He's in his office where he almost always is. Yes. Oh. Hi. Mange. You're back. I assume you've reported to Kydrix.
Yes.
Anything I need to know anything I need to know in particular?
Yes. Village of I've already forgotten the name of the village, but Mange knows it.
Sure.
Is probably a good source for finding foods when harvest come. will be sending envoy when they are being ready. Once you set up garrison there, they will let us know if they are okay with this. But
That'll
finding
make
out
sense.
market price, negotiating discount for goods, maybe sending out engineers for helping them with planting and irrigation. All good ideas. Gadrit's saying is for you for organizing. Yes.
That's definitely my bailiwick, and definitely sounds like good ideas. Good thinking on that. What's the local political situation?
We are in Kingdom of Dunia. Not much about them. Is at war with Ironrot.
Durna. Yes, human. Primarily a split between human and dwarves. There's a significant elven population there. Some gnomes. If I remember correctly, the current king is, I believe, human, although it's hard to tell with.
Villages smelling mostly like human.
Well, that. Oh, I'm not surprised that, but I'm just saying. I think the royal family is human, but it's been a while since I've done specific research on them. Yeah, they've been war on and off with Ironrot for quite some time, if I remember correctly.
Maybe having issue when tax collectors are coming for harvest. Something we are fighting when need to fight.
Yeah. I am certain we can make that not an issue.
Is good.
So want to set trade agreements and potentially garrison them. That makes a lot of sense. Honestly, actually having a farm nearby, having a farming village nearby will actually vastly simplify our logistics.
Yes, not having underground sea for fish anymore is a problem. Glad you are thinking same as me. Glad it means just not being stupid.
If we only had maps of the nearby forests, that would actually and where the good hunting grounds there are, that'd also be a big help.
We are recruiting a hunter from bandits that we are killing. She is knowing area. Am I sending her up to make maps for you?
Yes.
I will too.
Basically,
also,
when you said that, his Ponce's glasses sort of fall off his snout. Oh, thank God! Someone who knows the area. Oh, that's going to save us so much time.
Also, bandits we are killing. We're using old fort. We are thinking best to remake fort, use as forward garrison. Also, the revenants underground are needing fort fixed so they can move around fort. So, good.
Are the undead willing to work with us?
Yes, they are. They are being very happy to have.
Then I will make sure to send some engineers out there. I'll get the engineering guild to pick a team to send out there. You arrange some bodyguards for them, and we should get those out there ASAP. Because having a forward base in the area would be a very good thing, especially once I have actual maps. Oh, I might have actual maps.
I'm getting right on. Is good for everyone is being happy.
Excellent. Oh, that's gonna make my job so much easier having actual maps there and knowing the political landscape.
One other. Oh yes, important thing. Numeria is near Ironrot. We may be dropping in his lap.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to hear.
It is bad news.
Oh, his major domo is such a pain in the ass.
Mange is okay with killing him and his ilk, but freeing his slaves, all this, you are knowing this. But Kadrix is wanting to make sure we are diplomatic before we are doing with the killing.
Yeah. Well, if you want to kill Numeria, it's going to be, from everything I understand, that's going to be an impressive trick.
I'm always good with tricks.
Ignatius is like, there's no saying about diplomacy. Diplomacy is just hiding the knives on the first trip over.
At any rate, yeah. God. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, we could be in Jancis Aldor's territory.
Which one is Chance Aldor?
He's the Archlich.
I'm hearing him is Big Dick, not in like.
Yeah, he is not a pleasant individual.
I imagine Janice Aldor has a magic globe that just thrums purple anytime somebody says his name. He's like, "Fuckers, they're talking about me."
Uh,
All right. Eric has been taking up a lot of screen time. Other people should be doing so also.
I understand. That's why. Oh yeah,
Don't let me
Nick.
step
What did you? I believe you wanted to talk to Cynthia.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, Cynthia is pulling books off. Cynthia has stopped putting books on shelves and is pulling books off other shelves at the moment.
Because she was asked to pull
Yes.
those books down. Diesel's going to look between the books for a minute because he's like, I don't even know what the hell she's doing. She puts books down, she puts books up. What is she even doing? The books are still there.
Book there, book
It does
there.
not,
Diesel,
compute
can I help you,
them.
Diesel? Is there anything you need?
Hmm.
D- 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 d-
Diesel have question for Crown Lady.
Feel free to ask. I'm just looking for. There is. She reaches up to the top shelf. There we go. Yes. Denovan's Denarian's tome on deceased deities. Excellent. All right, that'll help. But yeah, ask the question, please.
How Crown Lady know not want to get married?
She reaches her book, pauses, turns
Diesel
and looks
gets
at
the
you.
Diesel reaches up and gets the book and hands it to her.
Thank you. Yeah, set that there. That's an interesting question. That's an actually interesting question. Well, my arranged fiance was while I wouldn't say he's someone I disliked, he's not someone I was particularly fond of either. He was not a bad person, just very focused on. He was very much in. He was a knight in a lot of ways. He was very much into the. Well, specifically, he was big. He wasn't very. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this in the right way.
Knights not appeal to Crown Lady's sensibilities and preferences for sexual and romantic partner.
Romantic mainly, yes. she chuckles. He is someone that a big issue is he's not someone I can hold a conversation with. I mean, well, outside if you want to talk, if specifically if we want to talk about swordplay, that's about the only thing that we had even remotely in common. And by his upbringing, a princess really shouldn't be interested in swordplay. It's not appropriate. He is a very, very traditional knight, as it were.
Diesel's going to kind of pause for a minute because he has gleaned basically nothing from this answer.
Yes. She will say, that is not helping. That is not actually answering your question, is it?
Diesel familiar with when romantic partners not compatible, but Crown Lady have purpose before. Reject purpose.
Yes.
Find other purpose.
Yes.
How?
That is an excellent question, Diesel.
Thank you.
I am. It will vary. In my experience, from what I just found that I was not satisfied with the things that were expected of me. I was the duties of a princess in Kingdomia did not involve the things I found interesting. I was interested in learning how to fence, studying magic, academia, doing research, reading books, studying politics, courtly etiquette did not particularly interest me, shall we say? And being little more than a broodmare was not really on my docket of things I was interested in doing. On top of it, being a political bargaining chip was not something I was overly fond of, even if I did understand it from a practical standpoint.
Purpose Crown Lady born into, not what Crown Lady wanted.
Correct.
How you decide what you wanted?
Well, in my case, it was a case of I happened to be able to be of a mind to take advantage of some of the privilege I had, being a princess, to order people to teach me things that I thought might be interesting, and I found the ones that I did find interesting, and then had them focus more on those until my father forbade me from studying those further.
I'm just imagining there's this 8-year-old girl just going to her servants. You there, teach me math.
Basically,
I would like to meet this child who specifically does that.
I mean, math, no, but
hi.
You went to random people and said, "Teach me math."
Not quite that, but I was very enthusiastic about it.
More specifically, she would approach the Royal Exchequer and insist that he teach her the basics of what he did. Because what do you do? Cool. How is that done? What do you do, court wizard? Cool. How is that done? Ooh, I do it. That's interesting. What is this swordsmanship thing you do? Ooh, that's fun. I enjoy that. What do you mean I can't do that?
So, Crown Lady. You can kind of see the gears turning in Diesel's head for a bit. Search for purpose.
Yes.
I'm just imagining at the far end of this, Diesel finds his purpose and he just becomes a florist.
I actually have an idea in mind, but
cool.
Fair.
Let me see here.
Diesel's combination florist and China shop.
Free bull with every 500 gold piece purchase.
Diesel is grateful for this answer.
I'm glad to have been of help.
Diesel not know many things, but know some things. If Crown Lady ever need help learning them, Diesel will be nearby.
I appreciate that. When I have free time, I noticed you seem to be fairly skilled swordsman, for instance.
Diesel big, cut through enemies.
Not much on technique, then?
Diesel's going to kind of look a little bit down at the princess, and he's going to say, "Can Princess get much bigger and stronger to match skeletal and musculature structure of Diesel?"
Not without some very experimental magic, no.
Diesel have that, so get that.
She actually chuckles. So your techniques would not have...
Diesel can throw shield good.
Interesting. Well, at some point we'll definitely discuss some of this, I think. I'd be interested in at least watching you train, because I might glean something from that. even if I can't apply it directly to what the way I would fight with a sword. At a minimum, I know the movements of someone who fights based on strength and power and size. Studying your opponents is almost as important as practicing your own techniques. At least that's what my swordmaster told me, or the castle swordmaster.
Diesel
He was a very good teacher. I really wish I could have trained longer with him.
Diesel slowly nods in the manner of one who understands partially what has just been said, but not all of it. Anyway, Diesel will allow Crown Lady to move books back and forth.
Yeah, Kadrix needs these books to read through, and I'm going to need to put these books in the shelves where she pauses and says, I'm organizing the books in a manner to make it easier to find them again in future.
But books are right here.
Yes, but they'll be over there soon, and then, when they're done there, we'll bring them back over to here and put them where they were, so that if they're needed again, we'll know where they are. Also, by organizing them in a particular way, we know that there are similar books near them, so that if we need books that are similar to them but different, we know where those are also.
Oh! That makes sense.
Glad to help.
Yes. Goodbye.
Have an excellent day. All right, I need the next book. Hi!
I believe the next person up at the scene was Steno.
Is there anything? Yeah. So, was there something you wanted in particular? I know Eric was going to come talk to you at some point, but I wanted to check. Is there anything you wanted?
Steno doesn't have anything on the immediate docket.
All right.
No, she's just kind of brooding at the moment.
Fair enough. Zoggett or Ignatius. Sorry, go ahead.
Although I have, I have this to say. I have an image that I think sums up a fair chunk of Diesel, like 80% of the time.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's a meme time. I understand everything.
Understand it all.
Pop Team Epic.
I was just like, this is just kind of Diesel like 80% of the time.
Nodding, then eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the 20%. It's not that he gets it 20% of the time. It's that after 80% of the time, then he gets it.
All right. Zoggett or Ignatius, anything you guys... Actually...
At some point...
Oh, sorry,
okay,
Yash first, yep.
I said, at some point, Ignatius is probably going to talk to Rokesh about both getting the lines of communication open and also maybe trying to find out anything about our doppelganger that's been pretending to be a princess for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah. All right, so, sure. And Gav? Gav? Okay, we'll get back to Gav when he's back. Unless he's on push talk or something. So... Alright, yeah, so you arrive. Iggy, you arrive as Rokesh is sending a courier actually, you see Rokesh is sort of leaning back in the chair at his desk, sort of pinching the bridge of his draconic nose. His glasses sitting on his desk. Iggy, one moment. Let me just. Picks his glasses back up, perches them on his snout. Sorry. Just had some excellent news from Mange about that. I'm actually going to have access. We have someone. We now have someone who actually knows the area, so we might actually have useful maps.
Yes, maps, the backbone of trade.
Yes. Oh my God, we might actually have access to trade. Wait, Iron Rot. We might actually be able to trade with Iron Rot. They might actually not like shoot our messenger, try to shoot our messengers on sight. Oh, I know they're assholes, but like we might actually be able to deal with them short term. Oh,
They do seem to be the type that money talks with.
yes.
All right.
At any rate, yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. How can I help you, Iggy?
So we need to get our lines of communication back open.
Yeah.
Like, not only just for the personal reasons, I got my reasons. A bunch of the other boys do. We got to help the other guys.
Communication would be getting communication back up. And knowing the land will help for that.
But the most important thing is, we left somebody impersonating the princess like 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
We haven't heard anything about it.
Oh, well. All right. Yeah.
We might want to get some of the wizards in on this. Maybe the scribes.
Oh, we definitely need someone. We definitely need to get someone to get someone in contact with Gemini. You're right. Ooh. I mean, knowing Gemini, he's almost certainly blending in quite well. But he was only. I don't think he was planning on keeping the roll up for forever. I mean, if need be, he probably could do it. He's that good. Astonishing. Listening to him talk, you would not think he can sing into a role as well as he actually can.
Look, I've seen Gemini. Gemini is great. I'm worried if we leave Gemini there for too long, Gemini is going to become the princess, like fully
from a de facto standpoint. Yeah, I know. I get it. No, I agree. I'd like to get him back ASAP. Also,
he's thinking long term. It's like maybe we shouldn't introduce a semi-immortal doppelgang creature into the royal family of this small nation, especially one we don't know if they're immortal or not. I can just see Gemini replacing each and every generation of person. He's like just wildly justificating as he's saying all this. It's like it's gonna get bad if we don't get a handle on the situation.
Yeah, Kydrix has got some things on his plate right now, but I can definitely talk with with some of the tower mages. Setting up at least a temporary magical communications sort of relay of some sort might not be the worst idea.
No, I know you got a lot on your plate right now, especially with the maps and everything else.
As Major Domo, it's my job. It's my job to keep things running and organized. So, yeah, communication network setting up a temporary one's a good idea. I'll run some things by the golem at some point. But I'll also run things by. I'll talk to Rocky and see if he's got any later. See if he's got any. They've got any ideas on who to talk to about that in the tower.
All right.
I mean, I know he generally works with Scales, but he knows the other mages. So, I mean, I do too. But like, he is a mage, so I don't know. At any rate, is there anything else?
That's everything for me. You're doing a bang up job.
Yeah. By the way, I think you're right on the whole personal thing. There are some people who probably like being in contact with people that we got left behind. I think I'll set up a sort of a I at a minimum we can set up like I think we can set up like a sort of a guided carrier animal thing at a minimum. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Yeah, I'll talk to a couple of wizards and get that up and get sort of a postal system thing set up at some point. For at least short-term stuff.
Just imagine you hear a knock on your door and it's a donkey. He's got a bag in his mouth. Here's your mail.
Yeah.
You're not sure where the voice is coming from because you have the bag in his mouth.
I was thinking, something along the carrier pigeons, except bats. You hear squeaking outside your window. There's a fruit bat hanging from the eaves with a small satchel.
That's much cooler, but much less funny.
Oh, I agree. I'm just thinking more in flavor with the tower.
So that fruit bat is also fully sentient and expected to be tipped. Holds out a little wing for a coin.
I remember. This is just offhand making me think of like one of the purposes of the tower. It probably does have like a dedicated like bat raising area,
Oh, sure.
and we actually have an export, as it were, of guano.
I mean,
I
given the
imagine
number of wizards in the tower, that yeah, bat
Yeah.
guano is probably something that you.
Alternatively, if things go really bad in the finale, we have something we can detonate to blow up the tower.
I'm thinking it's like all about the bat guano, so it can make more and bigger explosives.
I just like went down that line of thought because in Warlock, the structure that allows you access to bat minions actually gives you money instead of costing it.
That's awesome. You're exporting guano. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized I should probably change scenes on the thing here. Because, you're at the tower, not not the village anymore.
Look at the tower.
Although I really should like do like do a photo edit of do an edit of this at some point to move the tower out of the blasted wasteland mountains and.
You could just MS Paint in a couple trees around.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not going to just cut the. I'm not just going to cut the tower out and Google up an image of rolling hills and just paste the tower into there. No, that would be wrong. I would never do that.
It's the XP wallpaper.
Basically, yeah. I was thinking something like that. Yes. Just for comedy. Well, I'll think about it. At any rate,
Blue-haired anime girl looming in the horizon.
Okay, is Gav back? Sounds like no. I'm hoping Gav didn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
But at any rate,
he is idle.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll see. Eric, you said you want to check in on Steno, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna go looking for probably outer chambers first, sort of knock on the door.
Mm-hmm. Come in.
I'm seeing you are in a not so good mood. Is everything okay?
The subject of the fallen divines always leaves me morose.
I'm wanting to ask you about that. I know that you are being faithful to gods, but always seeming more trouble than they are worth for me. So, how is this working for you? I'm it's not understanding.
Well, that's a bit of a difficult thing to explain. You have your loyalty to Cadrix.
He is leader of pack, yes.
It is not too dissimilar to think in those terms. One's chosen divine is one's spiritual, moral, and philosophical leader.
These gods are always making crazy demands, though. Like, Kadrix, he is a good leader. He is listening to us and is doing what is necessary, and is not asking us to do what is not in nature. So many gods are like, you cannot be fucking, you cannot be fighting, you can only eat certain things. Asking for many, many ties that they are having no use for because they are immaterial. This is weird and very silverfish seeming.
I cannot speak on behalf of all deities, but I do know that I did hold the one I've outlived in very high regard.
Sorry you were losing someone you were caring about. This I am understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you are saving Mage in fight with Big Boss Bandit. Is unusual. I'm thanking you for that.
It's not that unusual.
Yes,
I do not care to lose any more than I care about.
He's unusual for me. He's even here. Like I'm leader. His job for me fighting for underlings is. But when fighting boss, you're taking stabbing for mage is very bad stabbing. Might have ended him. Is not happening before. Trying to thank you and not doing good job.
I understand, Mage. It's quite all right. I was glad to do it. It hurt for the moment, but wounds don't tend to hold much sway over me.
Ah, but getting hurt is part of fighting. Is part of dance. Is how it works. You are not understanding why Mage is liking to fight so much, are you?
At one point in time, long, long ago, I also enjoyed fighting. Combat was a contest to see who was greater, more skilled, a demonstration of prowess. When one has no foreseeable limit to one's life, such titles tend to lose weight. The achievement of doing such things within the time one is given is what gives many such actions merit. If I so chose, I could spend centuries becoming an absolute master of fighting that none could ever overcome. But then, what would that mean?
I
It would
think
be
you
an
are missing
unfair.
an important part of fighting. These things you talk about, these things are they are part of it. But Steno, fighting is beautiful. Is a dance and song all at once. Here, I maybe I am showing, and he sort of picks her up and starts giving her a waltz. Here, I am leading you. Now you are leading me. But when fighting, both are leading, both are following. At the same time, tempo is beat is blood in ears. The tempo is clash of weapons. Is breath fighting for more extra breath is so wonderful. Is beautiful. It's like song. Winning is beside the point.
I'm glad that you have found something that you can be truly passionate about, Mange.
I'm thinking maybe your love for gods is like Mange's love for fighting. Is maybe faith is beside point. Active faith is important.
I think you understand now.
Good, I am happy. But you are still sad. This is making me sad. Are you needing more time alone? Maybe you come for drink. Maybe we get people for playing song. Maybe we go look in gallery at art. A new artist down there is a very beautiful painting.
I do appreciate it. I merely need some time. Being reminded of what one has lost when one has not completely learned to move beyond it is difficult.
Okay, if you are needing more chatting, Mange is here. So
I appreciate it, Mange.
now I am needing to go find new hunters. So Mr. Majordomo is getting maps and stuff. But
If I can
you
be of
are
any assistance, do let me know.
always you are good at job. We are glad to be having you.
Thank you.
And I'll sort of look over his shoulder as he leaves to double check she's okay, and then he'll go send the hunter up to the seneschal, whose name I can't remember.
Rokesh.
Senna will be coiled upon her cushions and just looking at the relief of her deceased god's iconography with kind of a distant look.
Okay. So noted.
I like how we've kind of got like the lounge music in Steno's room going on right now.
Yeah, that's my father. Thank you for that.
Well, it just started to like kick in right when Maine showed up. So it was kind of like setting the mood. It's like, oh yeah, here we go. awkward conversation music.
All right.
This is Mange Dad and his classy music.
Anything else anybody wants? In particular, if not, I have things to do. Things that you'll have to react to. Maybe, I don't know. Not quite. Then a man with a gun walks in. I'm not. It's not. We're not Raymond Chandler time quite yet. It's one of my favorite quotes ever. If you don't know what to do, just have a guy with a gun walk in. They're not wrong. He's wrong. He wasn't. Chandler wasn't wrong. Turns out. But all right. So a couple of things. A little bit later on, those of you in the mess hall notice all of you hear a sort of quiet, sort of a muffled explosion, sort of not a big one, sort of sort of plates rattle a little bit, and you sort of see smoke billowing from one of the hallways. This does not surprise most of you. Most of you are kind of used to it. This happens every now and then in the alchemy lab. And shortly thereafter, in a cloud of smoke and coughing, Scales walks in. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry. What's the word I'm looking for? Yes. Eureka! I've had a breakthrough.
Is good?
Well, I've had this, the stone was been lying in my lab, since we landed here, and it's a philosopher's stone. It's all power drained from it. Who's seen one of those things before? Like something that's definitively was a philosopher's stone, but has no magic left in it. I had to poke, and I think I know how to recharge it without any of the bullshit rituals that you would need to do to create the damn thing. So we can have it a repowered philosopher's stone without destroying a nexus, without sacrificing thousands of lives or anything like that. Perfect. Shouldn't do it in the tower.
Is very good.
Because recharging philosopher's stone in the tower would mean we have a philosopher's stone on top of the nexus again, and I think that's what caused this.
Yes,
Should not
if what causing this, good that we are not doing this.
I need a remote laboratory. I will go talk to Rokesh. He stops by the. He stops in front of Greta, the cafeteria lady. Gets a tray of a bowl of beetles and wanders off, sort of snacking, looking very, very pleased and happy with himself. Also, so shortly thereafter, as things settle down, everyone in the cafeteria, give me a notice check.
I remember how to do this in the system, honest.
Notice check.
That would be detective for me, yes?
Yes, it would be. A 4. Okay.
And I'll throw a fortune in there because
Why
we're not
not?
gonna get a lot of die. Yeah.
Wow, I rolled crapola. Look at that.
See,
There you go, Ash.
see, the key to noticing things in the mess hall is to not be eating.
That does help. Right. I think that's everybody who's in the mess hall at the moment. Since I don't know where dog it is. But yeah, Nick. So Diesel and Iggy, you both happen to glance up into the rafters at the exact right moment. Well, you both happen to notice up in the rafters. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, just sort of. I'm trying to think of how to describe this. I know how it looks visually in my head. All right, so there is a sort of a small point of light that forms up in sort of the rafters in the dark part of the rafters. That sort of expands outwards and sort of starts bending back over itself into a sphere, sort of as if a circle was sort of being sort of formed, sort of pulled back around a sphere. And then when it gets to the back, it flips forward, rotates, and starts looking around the room. And you can sort of see that it's not fully closed off. It's basically formed an eye.
Ah. So we are being scried at. Somebody's looking around.
Yes.
Diesel is going to throw his shield at the eye.
Okay. give me an attack roll.
All right, this is going to be my push attack.
At almost the exact same time, Ignatius just throws his tray at it.
14.
14.
So let me get that in there too.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a
That
little surprised you didn't throw your fork.
Oh, God.
Fork right in the eye.
Iggy, who's wide awake, is
That's your
on
second
the ball.
That's your second straight positively exploding roll, so well done on that, Ash.
Yeah. All right. So here's what happens. The shield goes flying into it, bounces the eye into the wall, where it sort of makes a little sort of. It makes a distressingly. It doesn't make any noise you'd expect from it. What it makes is the sound of a squeaky toy. Which just like you're not expecting it. It bounces off the wall. You're sort of making sort of a whimpering noise as this tray slams into it and shatters it. You see a little sort of flecks of sort of. It almost like it shatters into like a pile of like powdered glass almost, except that it's got a sort of very deep, dark, reddish tint. Everyone in the cafeteria sort of pauses, looks up. The hell?
It's a good throw! Starts clapping.
Iggy's just like, oh, it's too early for this shit.
Giant eye on ceiling.
It's not that anymore!
No. Giant eye break.
Ash, your tray is stuck in one of the cross beams.
Just one of those improbable flows
Yes.
that nobody quite understands how he can do. Like, there aren't any sharp edges on that. How did he get stuck in the beam?
You threw something up there, you threw something up there, so it's stuck in the ceiling now. It's up there along with all the frisbees, and
Yep.
There's one pizza up there too. You know, the balls.
Oh geez, are there any like pairs of shoes with the strings tied together
No.
hanging from up there?
No. There was
Good.
a pair of shoes dangling from a telephone pole wire near where I lived for literally like 3 years. Like it took forever for them to come down. It was like, a landmark.
All right. All right. So
So Iggy looks over at Mange. And he looks over there at our deathborn friend there, and he's like, "All right, who wants to tell Cedric we're being scryed at?"
I am heading up.
Like we are just all too tired in the morning. None of us have had our coffee.
Bean grabs a pot of coffee on the way up.
Okay. All right, you arrive back up in you. I guess you head back up to Kadrix's library.
Yep.
Kadrix is at sitting at his desk with a giant pile of books on sort of next to him, with a giant dusty tome open in front of him. He is currently reading. Cynthia is sitting at the table where you guys are all sitting around with the remnants of her breakfast and a cup of tea in front of her. Oh, hey Mange.
Hello.
Kadrix. Mange is here. What? Oh. Hello, Mange.
Hey, boss. Hello, boss. I'm not wanting to be bothering you so early because I'm not finished with coffee. But
Yeah.
have magic eyeball in cafeteria. We are taking care of it, but thought you should know someone is trying to be
What color?
spying. When break it turn red.
Kadrix tips his head to one side. Cynthia puts her teacup down. Red, shattered into sort of glassy shards.
Yes, this is true. Big squeaky noise.
Kadrix sort of pauses. What? Cynthia groans.
When Diesel is throwing his shield up at it, it goes squeak. He makes a decent and breaks.
It squeaked. Cynthia's, yes, it squeaked. That conjuration's designed to not break, and it does so by being soft and squishy. Simultaneously, which begs the question: why does it break into something that resembles glass? The court wizard was describing the scrying spell one of the scrying spells that he learned from at his academy to me many years ago, and this is one of the ones he was describing. It was a particular favorite of his academy. I'm not surprised I'm not surprised you don't know that one, sir. That particular academy is very jealous regarding their secrets. The court wizard probably shouldn't have told me about it, honestly. They'd probably be very upset with him. I'm just capable of being very persuasive sometimes. But at any rate, yeah. So you're looking at a wizard who trained at God, hang on. Fuck. Where did my notes go? Where did my notes on this go? Hang on. Yes, they trained at the College of the Crossroads. Kadrix pauses. College of the... Okay. I think I've heard of that one. They do very very specifically try to keep their reputation a bit less well known. Some of their researchers are into more unsavory magics, as it were. I would not be... On the plus side, it means it's unlikely to be Murnuria. They probably wouldn't. Their graduates probably wouldn't associate with him. I'm guessing that's odds are it's probably someone in Durnia. Sorry, that's I keep mispronouncing it. I may change it to Durinia just so I don't get it wrong going forward. Durina. Yeah, probably one of the court wizards in Durina. Be my guess. That this is the general... The college is sort of in this general vicinity, I think. I'd have to look at some maps. But yeah, I'm fairly certain that's whoever cast that spell is that's where they trained, and I'm guessing they're probably in Durina. Kadrix sort of leans forward. So, Durina has a court wizard who trained in a magical academy that keeps his reputation somewhat hidden, due to the fact that if people knew their actual reputation, they wouldn't be considered trustworthy. Great. So, what sort of unsavory? No, let me guess. Demonology, the darker aspects of necromancy. You notice Cynthia sort of nodding. Yep. Sacrificial spells? Oh yeah. At least that's the rep. And he was court wizard for you. You had your court wizard was from there. Cynthia shrugged. Seemed like a reasonably nice guy. Just I don't know if he knew any of that stuff, but if he studied those particular magics, that's where he went. Cynthia shrugs. Takes all sorts, I guess. Mange, you probably should let Rokesh know that we've been scryed. I'm impressed that he got the spell through my scrying defenses that I set up. Cynthia, you're going to have to tell me a bit more about that spell. I may have to factor that in.
I am also extending pickets for picking up any forces coming.
Probably a good idea.
I'll go let Rokesh know and inform the appropriate sub-commanders to expand the pickets out another 5 miles or so.
Okay. Anything else, anybody?
Well, then I'm going to go back to my breakfast.
I figured. I'm just saying, does anybody else have anything they want to do in regards to this or not? Which is fine, because there's more coming. It's just I want to see if there's anything you guys want to do first.
Well, Senna was not notified of this and wasn't part of the whole scene, so she has no idea.
Fair enough.
Let the snake lady sleep in.
I'm not certain she sleeps.
All right. All right, then, unless anybody's got anything else, then the next day, because there's definitely some downtime.
We actually have some downtime.
You do have
Diesel
downtime, yes.
Diesel is actually going to get to use his room.
He's just in his bed. He's like, this is kind of nice, actually.
Well, I mean, just like after I joined, we were immediately going on missions and stuff, and then of course we moved the tower and had to explore and stuff like that. So yeah, it's one of the first times that Diesel's actually getting to use his quarters. So
I'm just kind of over here going, he's like, okay, Diesel decides to go to his quarters. He approaches the door and just stands in front of it as he ponders the key.
He goes inside, and there's a welcome basket, and it's just got half rotten.
Aw.
No, they would have picked stuff that would last. Weird shit happens at the tower, so like you don't put perishables in a welcome basket.
Okay, so it's not fruit; it's all sausages and cheese.
Yeah, probably.
That sounds like an amazing welcome basket. Why don't I get welcome baskets like that?
He goes outside and finds someone to ask them why there aren't 20 other beds in the barracks.
That's not a barracks. That's your room.
What?
That's your room. For you.
Diesel. Yes. Where are other beds? Where are other people using room?
That room is just for you, Diesel.
Okay. Real funny, guys. Come on.
No.
Is Ashton here? Ashton will have head removed from spine.
You got tomahawked.
No, that's just for you. There's one bed in there. That's what it's for.
This seems wrong.
Okay. I mean, if you prefer, we could add more beds to the room.
Oh geez, what room is Diesel going to like be roomies with like every like named character that we recruit?
I mean,
These will have new roommates. Come join.
we can like
One attempted murder later.
I mean, if you prefer, we could set up a. I mean, if you'd prefer, we can definitely set you up in the bunk areas. I mean, we do have them. We just don't use them very often because we don't. I mean, we've got enough space in the tower for everybody to have their own individual room. So why
Diesel
not
must
do that?
contemplate. Diesel must contemplate the concept of having a preference.
Fair enough. But yeah, if you'd prefer to, yes, if you think it would be better to have more beds in there, we can put more beds in there.
Diesel will consider this.
Okay,
And
let us know.
And he's going to walk away and grumbling. Figure out what your purpose is, Diesel. Figure out what room you want to stay in, Diesel. All these choices Diesel suddenly have.
Poor Diesel.
I've got a terrible thing I want to do. After you say all this, one of the goblin sentries walks by. Hey, Diesel, what do you think? What do you want to have for lunch today? You think? The goblin looks sort of like, what? I'll you decide later.
I'm waiting for Diesel to have his character arc and then just be like, hey, look, I expressed anger at you. I'm sorry.
That was very improper of me. A most grotesque outburst.
Sorry, Nick, I had to do that because I thought it was perfect comedic timing for that.
Oh, it's great.
All right. Anything else though before I get to the forward to the next event?
I just want to have a comment.
Okay.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting you to ask him what he wanted for lunch. I expected you to ask, was like, hey, hey Diesel, we have a survey so you can let us know how we're doing.
No, I figured something more innocuous than that would be funnier.
We greatly value your opinion and want to have your personal input on all matters pertaining to your livelihood here at the...
Exactly.
The skeleton butcher.
Diesel blocked out this part of the introduction. What the hell is this? A pillow?
Yeah, the bed is actually, not just a rock slab.
Yeah.
Soft thing snake lady sleep on, or coil on. Not certain if she sleep.
At any rate, the next day, I'm gonna say Diesel and Mange.
Okay.
And Steno, if you want to be in the scene.
Sure.
Okay. Steno's come out. You guys are all in the same general area when one of the sentries comes running up. This one is a bugbear. Comes sprinting in. 1 second. Sorry.
I'll give him a glass of water.
Thank you. Sips. Sorry, came sprinting back from Northeast Hill. Group of knights. Looks like a couple of wizards, all wearing white, with blood red trim, just appeared on top of the hill and are just standing there.
Does this ring any bells for me?
Nope.
Appear like they are coming over hill or like teleporting in?
Poof. Like teleporting in, but no like smoke or explosion or anything like that. Just all of a sudden they were there. Like they phased into existence from nowhere.
Could be an illusion.
Might be, but the sergeant sent me back to let you know.
Okay,
you might
I'm heading
I
out.
thought you guys might want to know.
Okay, I'm heading out to meet them. You were telling Rokesh, and that may be diplomatic, may be trouble.
Okay, I'll go talk to Drogesh. Whew. Okay,
Not
got
be
my breath back.
working so hard. He's okay. We are handling things.
Oh no,
But,
I just ran a bit faster than I intended to.
it's good. It's good you are excited for job. I am liking this. But not be hurting yourself. Leave that for fighting.
Yeah. He goes lumbering off. In that sort of, wow, bugbears are a lot quicker and more agile than they look like they should be way. It's like, what? They're all they're these big sort of gangly goblins that really are a lot more agile than they look like they should be.
All right, I'll pull together an honor guard and head on out to meet these guys on the hill.
All right, so I assume that Diesel and Center are going since they're there. Does Ash? Do you want to get in on this?
I don't see a reason why Ignatius wouldn't.
Okay, sure.
I'm also going to put the garrison on alert in case it is not for talking.
Oh yeah, that is totally reasonable. All right, you guys head out. You eventually spot the hill in question, and indeed there is a group of about eight people in what looks like white enameled plate armor. Very sort of. Other than the fact that it's like enameled white with blood red trim, it's very otherwise fairly utilitarian. Like there's not like any particular embellishments or anything like that. It's just it looks like it's in nearly pristine condition and it's been enameled. And they've got flowing white cloaks. Standing in the middle of them are a trio of people wearing white robes with red trim, wearing sort of two of them are wearing sort of very simple white hoods. One of them is wearing a red sort of skull cap. As you approach,
First thing I thought of.
Yeah.
Priesty boys. Or maybe wizards.
a little bit like that, darker red, but more blood red though.
So Final Fantasy 1 white mage.
Yeah, actually.
Like a skull cap. You mean like a Zushadow? Like a priest would wear?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
As you approach, the one in the reds, the knights all sort of the fellows in armor all sort of put their hands in their weapons and ready themselves, but don't do anything other than basically getting in position to, okay, we are ready to attack if need be, but we're not doing anything yet. One of them sort of glances over at the trio in robes. It is very clear the one with the red skull cap is in charge. Just you can tell, but just by the way that everyone sort of seems to be, the way everybody's standing around him. He is the two with the sort of regular sort of white hoods. One's male, one's female. They are sort of they look like fairly typical sort of middle. They look sort of it's hard to peg their age. They're not clearly they're clearly adults, but not like particularly old. The one in the red skull cap is definitively on the older side with a very gaunt face, prominent nose, and bushy eyebrows. And he's seems to be of a very thin, gaunt build. He is the only one without a staff or anything like. The other two have sort of big wooden staves. He has nothing like that. He stands with arms crossed, looks out at you with with piercing blue eyes. I take it you are the denizens of this tower?
I take it you are spending many hours keeping things clean.
He actually smirks at that. He has a sort of little smirk sort of twitch to the side of his mouth. Indeed.
I am being Mange. I am captain of guard for Tower of Ivory in service of Gadrix. Well, who are you? What are you doing?
That explains it. My apologies. I am Vedic Haas, court wizard of the Kingdom of Durina, and also head of the local church. He sort of smiles. So yes, I recently you recently disposed of my scrying attempt, and I understand that makes perfect.
Very rude to be spying on neighbors.
Technically speaking, yes, but we weren't aware that we're not entirely. It's hard to figure out exactly. We noticed an appearance. We noticed the sudden appearance of a new nexus of power, and that something was tied into it. We had to look, and it's much safer to use a scrying spell to look on that sort of thing than to send people into a completely unknown situation if you have the option to do the former.
Strategically sound.
I do apologize for the intrusion, but we need to know what was there. And once we realized that there were intelligent beings there, we figured we should send a diplomatic envoy. I was chosen to be the representative of the kingdom.
Iggy just looks at all the armed knights, and then the priest is like, diplomatic envoy.
Indeed.
Right.
Well,
He's on our god. He's okay.
Yeah, exactly. These are my bodyguards, and these are my spiritual advisors.
Interesting that the head of the church has spiritual advisors.
Technically, they're my spiritual advisors in my role as court wizard. It's a gigantic. He has a slightly exasperated look on his face. Technically speaking, the court wizard by the church rules has to have a pair of spiritual advisors from the church. The fact that the court wizard is also the head of the church does not negate that, unfortunately.
You are being human. You are remembering stupid, rigid hierarchies and idiot rules. It's okay. We are understanding.
Again, you get a smirk out of Vedic Haas.
You are coming with us. We are showing you to a reception area where we are getting our own diplomats and big talkers. It's good.
Excellent. I would definitely looking forward to speaking with you. I would prefer to avoid any. I would prefer to we of Durina would prefer to avoid any misunderstandings.
It's good. I'm gonna send a runner up ahead to let the seneschal know what's what.
You see him nod at the head of his bodyguard. He sort of said, "Yep." He sort of said, "We're form up." Everyone nods. They fully sheathe their swords, sling their shields over their backs, and fall into sort of marching order.
I'll walk next to the wizard priest.
Okay.
So we are coming here because, well, Gadrix is Gadrix. He is doing things. Things are happening. So we are coming here. We are starting to set things back up, get things running up again. You are saying we are putting up new palisades. It's good stuff.
I see indeed. I'm assuming that you were not aware this was Durina territory when before arriving. Am I correct?
No, we are finding out just recently. We are going out, finding scouts, learning exactly what is here.
Ah, that's understandable. Magical accent of some sort?
That would be
And
the summation
magic
of
is
it.
not for
Yes.
mange to be knowing. What for mange to be knowing is how to deal when things go bad or not when expected or just happen.
In summation, you have the right of it.
Ah,
Yes.
excellent. That explains much. I'm assuming that I will get more details from when we get to the tower. But yes, you have arrived very suddenly during a somewhat tense time politically, as it were. I'm sure that
I'm hearing you are fighting with Iron Rot.
yes,
We are having people defecting from there from long ago. They're these good people.
oh, the people who joined you.
Yes.
Ah, well, I am certain there are many denizens of the Iron Empire who are quite decent folk. I'm not particularly fond of their leadership, but you know,
Leadership is always being a problem. You are understanding this. You are having to deal with king. Kings are bitches.
you can hear you
That-
hear the
that is
knights
the-
twitching.
That is the official T-shirt of the Ivory Tower. It's just
King's a
a picture.
bitch.
It's just mage and it's just kings and bitches.
There's
There's
Gav.
Gav.
Are you okay, Gav?
It sounds like Gav fell out of his chair.
And may have been asleep.
No. Apparently I was, and so was my leg because this fucking cramp hurts.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that,
Oh.
Gav.
Sorry, dude. Been there, done
That was
that.
me yesterday, man. You got all of my sympathy.
I am so sorry, Gav.
Brief catch up. We did some talking amongst the party and with Kadrix and the Cynthia got some character development in. Someone tried to scry on the tower before Diesel and Iggy broke the scry by throwing stuff at it. And just now, a garrison of knights showed up over the horizon, and so Steno, Diesel, and Mange and Iggy all went out to have a chat with them and find out what they wanted. They're from the nearby kingdom, and they're basically trying to figure out what the hell is going on over here. They're the ones who were scrying on us. They're trying to figure out why a tower suddenly showed up in their country. And
Fair point.
there they are now.
And we have valuable intelligence that this is in fact a new nexus.
Yeah, so there's going to be Michael McGillicuddy and Bray Wyatt in it.
God damn it, I'm in too much pain to make that joke myself.
do you need a minute? Do you want to?
I'm gonna mute and I'm just gonna try and walk it off.
Okay,
All right.
We're gonna
take care of yourself, Gav.
Mm-hmm.
Husky Harris.
Just my leg decides to become my own again.
Oof, I'm sorry, dude.
I hate that. I've been there. I'm sorry, dude.
So yes, you escort them back to the tower. Eric, I will say this: Mange is actually moderately surprised that your little quip about the king basically did not seem to phase the wizard priest at all. Like everyone else seemed to be sort of like to some degree.
Going to be honest, that was a bit of a litmus test for Mage about exactly how far you can push things with these people.
No, I figured that was what you were doing. They
Yeah,
seem to be very good at restraining themselves.
Iggy's
So-
got some reservations too about some of the things they were saying, and like how very hesitant they were to acknowledge people from the Iron Rod Kingdom as people. Yeah,
I will
these
actually
don't
make
sound
a
like the best.
introducing a couple of the hobgoblins that will pass.
Okay. Actually,
Diesel is going-
they don't seem to be that fussed by the hobgoblins, really.
Diesel is going to lean over to Mange, and he's going to say in a fairly low voice, "How many of Clean Robe Man's friends we allow inside?"
How many does he have with him? A dozen, you said?
There are 8 knights and the 2 quote spiritual advisors, and then Vedic himself.
We are handling 8 knights, but we are stepping up guards in our immediate area. It's a smart move and polite.
It took a while for Deez to get used to the whole "don't kill people who attack us" thing. Inviting people inside is a few steps up from that, so he looks a little bit.
You get to the tower, and as you're about to enter, Vedic turns to his bodyguards and says, "Captain, you and pick 2 of your bodyguards to bring in. We shouldn't bring everybody in. That would be a bit presumptuous, but I do need to have at least a couple of bodyguards with me just pro forma. I'm sure you understand
Good.
that.
It's good. You are being polite. It's good.
Indeed. You seem to have very well-trained garrison.
Yeah. Oh yes. These everyone is working for greater good of Tower. Tower is taking care of them. Thanks for good morale. Makes happy people.
Fascinating.
I will. Here, I am assigning you guys people for talking to, and I'll sign some of our scarier guards to watch the knights. And
I was about to say the exact same thing. Like he's like, let's get some other guys out there to watch them.
All right. The knights seem resigned to this. Again, they seem like they're used. They don't seem particularly like put out by them, but they're definitely like, yeah, that was what was going to happen all the time, wasn't it?
one of them, I'm going to make a point of it, making one of the sub commanders, who I imagine is this gigantic, terrifying, scarred half ogre, who is just the sweetest ball of cinnamon ever.
Okay.
And you're instructing him to basically go, grr.
It comes out more sensuous than he intends.
Grr.
All right.
What, like freaking like Snugglepuss?
Grr.
Sensuous about that.
The
Exit
sensualism of
stage left.
the pure raw sexual energy of Snugglepuss.
Not how I describe Snagglepuss, but okay.
Don't say that just because you want me.
What the fuck is this?
I'm desirable, amorous even.
Wow.
I woke up for this.
Okay.
Wonderful, thank you.
That was glorious, Nick. Thank you. Okay. So, so you head into the tower. You guys head into the tower. Rokesh comes sweeping in his. He's very clearly changed into his formal robes because he does that. And he has swapped his usual pince nez out for a much fancier one with that's got sort of very very tastefully placed gemstones on the edges of the frames. Welcome to the Tower of Ivory. I am Rokesh. I am Kydrix's major domo. I believe the name mentioned was Vedic Haas. Vedic nods. Excellent. You are the head wizard and you're the court wizard and head of the local church. Fascinating. That's an interesting combination of duties. Not very common, from what I understand, in most human communities. Vedic sort of shrugs.
He pops up. So, yeah, he has to wear many odd shaped hats.
So many hats. Too many. He actually says too many hats. Oh yeah, those are my official titles. I end up being unofficially head of the diplomatic envoys, and because of the dual nature of my roles, I end up being basically head of diplomacy, which really shouldn't be my job. That should be the court. That should be the major domo's job. He says, but unfortunately, he does have way too much on his plate to handle that currently. It's not his fault. This is His Majesty is not the best at efficient delegation, shall we say. But at any rate, we should sit and talk. We need to work. We need to work out exactly what's happened here, and yes, let's go. Let's Rokish. Yes, come along. The master, Kydrex, will be down shortly. He is in the middle of some very important research, and I've sent a message up to him. He's a magical researcher. It usually takes time to disentangle him from his books. Vader's holds up a hand, see, yes, he's a wizard. He gets it. Yeah. I know the type, yes. So they move into into the sort of meeting room where people sit down. The knights take up bodyguard positions behind Vedikas because that's what they're there for. And the two priests sit down on either side of him.
I'll just leaning against the wall to the right of the where the seneschal is sitting.
Okay. So Vedek sort of steeples his he has this sort of very sort of vaguely. He's got he's got very long sort of spidery hands almost, very long thin fingers. That he's very fond of sort of steepling in front of himself as he sits down, sitting at the table.
Yes.
So,
do I have the action to the voice about right there?
He doesn't. He doesn't. Yeah, sort of. But anyway, so it's got that. But he's sort of steepling his. Anyways, so you and the tower seem to have arrived here. I'm not going to ask for details. That is not important at the moment. You are here, and that is a fact we have to deal with. And there are factions at the court who would very much like to expedite your leaving, but especially given knowing who is here now, we would prefer. I think that would be unwise. And additionally, having a second, or honestly third unfriendly neighbor is not something I think is politically expedient. So my purpose being here, now that I know who you are, I have enough latitude, hopefully, to negotiate something resembling I don't know what, but
A non-aggression pact.
that would be ideal. He says, sort of eyebrows slightly raised. Rokesh sort of nods. I think I understand. Yeah, if I can at least get your intent to remain at least somewhat neutral in the conflict between us and the Iron Knot Empire, I would appreciate that. It would make our lives much easier. And I can convince the people, the idiots at court, not to start a war on a second front. He says, sort of head in his hands at the table, because he looks like he's very frustrated at the moment. Sorry, wanting to start yet another war on a second front. I've got idiots there are idiots in the court who want to declare war on Manuria at the same time.
Manuria.
Well, yes, he's the terrible beauty, as it were, is his fortress
yes.
in the area.
Terrible bitch.
I would not call him that personally, but
Mange is calling him that to his face when getting a chance.
I've heard of less wise things to do.
Yeah, Ignatius is sort of like being secretary for us, and just doing the notes while everybody's talking.
At any rate, so I've noticed. So you've landed in the vicinity of several of the outlying farming villages in the area. I am assuming you're going to want to form some sort of arrangement with the local farmers so that you at least to help stabilize your supply lines and such. Am I correct?
I'm already doing so with I named the village because I can't remember it because I'm terrible with names.
Yes,
I'm
Rokesh
already
is
taking
yes.
care of. Yes.
Yes, that is our plan. Yes. As much as I am certain His Majesty would prefer that you didn't, reality dictates that there's not a hell of a lot we can do about that.
To put a diplomatic bend upon it, there was a rather large group of bandits in the local area that was preying upon that village, among others.
Yes.
I would imagine that we'd have dealt with that bandit group.
Oh, that is excellent news.
I would imagine that this would be a suitable, we shall say, exchange of values.
At least for the, it is something I can bring to His Majesty as a way to convince him that, in theory,
with less bandit presence haunting the trade
it means
routes
trade will
and
actually get
preying
through
upon
and
the
it'll help stabilize our
villages.
supply lines. Yes.
Precisely.
Believe me,
I'm
I've been trying to
gonna-
convince His Majesty of that for some time, that we should deal with those bandits now rather than later. At any rate, yes, I appreciate that. That is-
Iggy heard that stray smite. And he's like,
I'm gonna lean over and whisper in Rokesh's ear. I'm not budging on village we already have. If bringing others in as possible is good, but we are already making promises to that one.
So the reality of the situation is we can't, even if His Majesty wanted to enforce his claims on the local villages, just from a purely sort of, political reality of the situation. You're closer than we are, and we're at war with someone else right now. So it'd be profoundly stupid of us to do anything like that.
Mange will nod at this.
I think I can sell His Majesty on that. All right. So the question I have, the one big thing I want to see, I want to ask is this: is it likely we can? What is the likelihood I can go back to His Majesty, and if I go back to His Majesty and tell, if I were to say that you have agreed to a non-aggression pact of sorts, and agreed that you would not seek anything beyond a non-aggression pact with the Iron Rot Empire, is that something I could bring to His Majesty? Basically, that you have no intention of getting involved in the conflict between our two nations.
I mean, this is Rokesh's bag.
Yeah,
but
Rokesh. Yeah, I know. Rokesh is going to sort of lean back in his chair. At the current moment, we have no intention of getting involved in any conflict between anybody. Kydrix prefers to keep to himself and focus on his research. And then all that we here at the tower really want is, a place to keep the territory around the tower safe, to ensure that the tower is safe, and to keep supply lines set up in such a manner that we can keep the denizens of the tower fed and happy. We have no designs on conquest of the local area or getting involved in any conflicts between local nation states. We have come to an agreement with the village of...
Start with an S, I
It
think.
does. I'm just finding the right page.
I keep on wanting to call Steno, but that's Word's character.
Yeah, it's
Engine.
not that, but... Where are you, stupid page? Sentha. We have an agreement with the village of Sentha, wherein we are, if they request it, we'll provide a garrison to protect them against any other potential wandering bandits. Agreeing that at the next harvest they be willing to sell us some of their crops and livestock, and that basically local sort of just a simple trade agreement between us and them, and offering protection from any further bandit activity. We're also planning on taking up residence in the ruined fort as a sort of an outlying garrison for ourselves, to make sure that to fortify or to solidify defenses for ourselves in the area, and to keep trade routes open for ourselves at least. I see. I'm taking that if you're providing defense for, if they agree to you providing defense for them, they. Yeah, I see where that's going to go politically. Oh, His Majesty's not going to like that, but I'm going to have to convince him of it. But that's my job. Well, that's one village's worth of taxes that His Majesty won't be able to collect, which is fine. Honestly, if we've got trade routes back, if the trade routes are actually open again, it's really not that big a loss. It doesn't hurt us much, and honestly, it's probably better for the villagers.
Ignatius pops up. Plus, with the roads clear, you'll be able to trade further and farther, which means you'll be able to bring more goods in.
Oh yeah.
It seems like an even trade-off.
Oh, I agree. As I said, from a practical standpoint, this is all win-win. It's just convincing His Majesty of this that's going to be the dicey bit. Fortunately, he's more focused with it'll be easy to divert him just back to the war with Ironrot. That's where his current focus is, and where he wants to keep it. So,
if I may, you seem to have rather visible misgivings about your liege.
oh no. For the most part, he's actually a fairly reasonable monarch. It's just that he's royalty.
I'm understanding.
It's more sort of a case of how he was brought up, and sort of his sort of ingrained beliefs about what is important to a nation, as opposed to sort of the practical realities of it. He's not a complete idiot. It's just that he's focused on certain. He's got certain focus. He gets very focused on things, and tends to fall back on his cultural upbringing, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he's not one of the people who's particularly interested in opening up a war on the second front. He understands why that's stupid. It's, some of the denizens of the court who are goddamn morons. No, we have to go to war with everybody around us. No, we conquer everything. Why?
Maybe a sweetening deal. Open up trade routes.
Believe me,
Tower and you.
I'd be interested. I will see what I can't speak to that right now. My mission was to arrange a non-aggression pact with whoever is here, and see if we can set up potential future negotiations. I don't have authority to go much beyond that at the moment.
Understood.
So it sounds like we can set up something resembling a non-aggression pact, at least. Yes? And Rokesh sort of nods. I think that's amenable. About this time is when Kydrix sort of comes wandering in. Oh, hello everybody. One moment, I'll be right back. I need to get some tea. He walks through the room into the mess hall.
Why is there a lunch tray stuck in the ceiling?
Let's be fair, he's
about
not
5
asking
minutes.
that question.
5 minutes later, he comes wandering back in, sipping tea. Pulls a chair, a random chair out of the table, and sits down.
For Kydrix! Die for Kydrix!
Ah, hello, Diesel. Sets the teacup down. I wish I could actually taste that.
I'm glad he's gotten used to it.
What?
I'm glad he's gotten used to that.
So, what's going on here? I heard there was some sort of diplomatic envoy. I'm assuming you're the diplomatic envoy. The two priests at the table, the spiritual advisors, have sort of you can see they're definitely sort of restraining. They're well trained to not, display any sort of, personal prejudices or anything like that. They're trained not to react. They're definitely sort of not at ease with an undead wizard. And see, that's a lich. Liches are bad. Liches are really fucking bad. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Vedic seems completely and utterly unfazed by Kydrix. Yes, I'm Vedic Haas, court wizard of the Durina, and head of the local church, and diplomatic envoy. That's a lot of hats. There are too many hats. So many hats. At any rate, yes, I've been discussing with your major domo non-aggression pact and potentially sort of hoping to avoid you entering anything beyond a non-aggression pact with the Empire, with the Ironrod Empire, simply because if you guys can stay out of the war, that would be really good for us. Kind of say, why would we get involved in a war between two other nations? That seems silly. Vedic basically you can see Vedic sort of going, oh, thank God. It's like, that is exactly what he's hoping to hear. The spiritual advisors have very faintly suspicious looks on their faces. They're like, don't trust him. He's a lich. Right. So that sounds like we can arrange. Wait, Kydrix. Were you the head researcher at Blackrock Tower about a century ago? Kydrix sort of sits back. Yes, actually. Vedic's like, that's where I've read the name before. Excellent. Okay, good. You're well known in certain circles for some of the theories you postulated. They're very interesting, if impractical. Kydrix is impractical.
Those are fighting words.
Impractical.
Impractical.
I'll have you know I've made much progress on most of those theories. You had a century to look into them. Well, yes, and I've made extremely good progress. Proven any of them yet? I'll have you know I've made extremely good progress. Nothing can present in a paper yet, but you know. They're interesting. Oh, I apologize. Yes. Yes,
Mage is getting more and more agitated at him upsetting Kydrix. He is no longer leaning against the table and is taking a step forward, or leaning against the wall and is taking a step forward.
I do think that this conversation is beyond the scope of this delegation.
Oh, you are absolutely right. I do apologize, and I did not mean to cast aspirations on your theories. They are very interesting, and if proven, would be actually very beneficial. I just don't see how they could be, but that may just be limitations of my own personal knowledge. At any rate, if we can come up with a draft of the paperwork, that would be most helpful, and I could go back to the king and see what we can do about other situations. All right, excellent.
Ignatius kind of stops writing, hands his notes over to Rakesh. It's the minutes of the meeting.
Thank you. Rakesh basically has. You notice that while you guys have been after Kydrix had wandered in, he'd been started writing on a scroll, and he basically slides it over to Kydrix. Kydrix says, a non-aggression pact. He gestures and he mutters. You hear him muttering something. Does a quick gesture, and a quill and ink pot appear on the table in front of him, with a very quiet little poof. Dip, dip, dip. Signs it. Slides everything down over towards Vedic. Vedic's. Well, as envoy, yep. Excellent. And you notice that shortly after, a little while after this, a second copy of the treaty the non-aggression pact is slid down the table because Rokesh was working on that one when he slid the first one over. And by the time he slid the first one over, all right, we have a copy of each. We've got copies. Excellent. Vedic rolls up.
Steno will make a point of going over the document to ensure that there, it is in fact an actual copy.
It is.
And not, all right.
Well, Rokesh is the one who made both of them, so.
Oh, Rokesh did. Okay.
I may have misspoken.
I may have misheard. Who can say?
All right. Vedic stands up and says, "I appreciate the hospitality, and I'm very glad that we managed to work out we managed to work out work out a non-aggression pact. That's going to make things much easier back home. Well, assuming I can squash the idiots at court."
Maybe I'm needing real squashing.
If that wouldn't, he looks over at you. He says, "If that wouldn't cause 13 other worse political problems, I'd consider taking you up on it."
Mage will bark out a giggle dog laugh.
Yes, thank you, Muttley.
Continuing our Hanna-Barbera.
Yes.
Really.
Oh dear Lord. I'll mention that later. So yes, Vedix gets up and he bows to Rokesh, bows deeper to Kydrex, and says, "Thank you again. I'm sure we'll be meeting again in future. Hopefully for better, even better relations of some sort. Hopefully I can convince His Majesty that would be worth doing. I would rather have more allies than enemies. Let me just put it that way. We have enough problems as it is." And with that, he gets up. The two spiritualizers are still sort of, or you can tell that they desperately don't want to take their eyes off Kydrix, but they've been too well trained not to.
Mage is walking you out, showing you way.
Oh, excellent! Thank you.
And I'll step between the advisors and Kydrix and sort of shoo them towards the door.
Yep. Oh, they don't take much shooing. Again, they know their jobs, and nobody brought up anything that needed them to interject. So,
Like they're gonna leave the tower, and then 5 minutes later they're gonna be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
did we just negotiate a deal with a lich? Yes, but it's a lich, but they're evil, and. But he's a Dreadlord. And we want a Dreadlord as an enemy because but they're evil.
You're not getting this whole politics thing, are you?
And if we don't have to be at war with one, that's a good thing. And it doesn't seem like they're. While he might be lying about not being interested in conquest, at least he's saying he's not interested in conquest at the moment. That's a plus. But he could be researching something evil. That's not our problem.
Stop being nosy.
Oh, and I'm not.
Well, that's not something he's saying.
I know.
It's not like he's a demonologist. I mean, he's not actually, but. Well, technically. At any rate, so yes, they leave. They head back up the hill. I assume that you have escorts. That you have escorts for them back up to the hill.
Yeah. I'll bring them back up to the hill myself, actually,
Yes.
along with whatever escorts.
Oh yeah. By the way,
Should follow
Kydrix
along.
has been sort of following along because he's doing one of those his sort of. He doesn't do this very often, but every now and then he just sort of wanders around.
Right.
Talking to himself about some whatever theories on his
So
mind.
on the walk back up, I'm going to be like, "It's good we are
Well,
having."
I want to mention one thing. So they get back up the hill.
Okay.
Kydrix is sort of watching this. He's sort of, so that's where they arrived.
Yes, they are coming in here.
They proceed to fade out of existence. Just no fanfare, no smoke, no explosions, nothing. Just phasing out.
So did
On
he
the
sign
way
that
up, I want
non-aggression-
to mention to the wizard priest. It's good we are having non-aggression pact. He's making job easier for our mage.
Good. I am glad that the captain of the guard is actually on board with this.
So when they were presented with the non-aggression pact, he actually did like sign it.
Yes.
Okay.
It probably just takes it sure though. He's to look at it and be like, "What? No."
Well, I mean, he is the diplomatic envoy, so yeah,
I was just checking that like he actually interacted physically with something.
he did.
So
Oh yeah, he definitely did. And he fades out of existence. Kydrix sort of blink. You actually see Kydrix sort of do his sort of non-blink. Basically little specks of light in his eyes sort of dim and brighten again.
Right.
Huh. That might be the single most efficient teleport spell I have ever seen.
Yeah. There's no fanfare. There's no bright lights. No explosions. It's
Do you know how
boring.
hard it is to do a teleport that doesn't have any of that shit?
No.
All of that extra stuff is the release of the energy that so the resulting energy that requires a teleport. If you're not releasing any of the energy, it means you're doing something else with it, and that's hard. Like making a teleport spell that is silent and with no visual effects. Whew. He's good. Whew.
You're certain that was actually a teleportation and not some conjuration instead?
6 of one, half a dozen other, really.
Allow me to rephrase. Are you certain that this was a teleportation of individuals from another location as opposed to the words are escaping me at the moment. As opposed to a construct that was projected?
Fairly certain. They definitely seemed alive.
Smelling like humans.
Very well then.
I mean, they certainly rated the correct body temperature to be human. So. I'm fairly certain that was teleportation magic. In fact, I'm going to. He basically holds up a hand. A staff appears in his hand. I'm going to go investigate see if there's any magical residue. Doop doo. He goes wandering off up the hill.
When Cadridge is out of earshot, Diesel is going to cross his arms over his chest, and he's going to say, "Diesel not think that clean robes man only here to be friendly."
Oh no, he is here to be seeing who is here and what we are doing, and maybe find information to bring back to his boss.
That not what Diesel mean. Diesel mean clean robes man want us to know what would happen if we not friendly.
Ha ha! Yes, it's good that you are smart like this.
That's when Ignatius pops, interjects. Should we send some guards out there to watch him?
Oh, they're Cadrix goes nowhere outside of the tower without a couple discreet guards.
They're just kind of following behind him, like.
All right.
Like they're intended to be discreet and unobtrusive, and if necessary, make sure that Cadrix isn't aware of it.
Well,
All
then,
right. Is there anything else you guys? Oh, Gav,
Mm-hmm.
since you're here. After all of this, Rokesh, the major domo, says, Zagat, got something for you.
Yeah.
I need you to pick out a team of about 5 engineers that are best suited for rebuilding that fort. Pick the ones you think would be best for operating on their own, that are at least reasonably competent defending themselves, so that we don't have to send quite as big a bodyguard out with them.
Yeah, I know a few. I'll send a
Excellent.
couple of ogres with him. It'll speed things up and put people off attacking him.
Good thinking. I like it. Awesome. Yeah. And if you got any ideas for any ideas to add to the fort, send them along with them. I trust you on sort of defensive improvements and shit like that.
Are we talking? What's the word? Actually, I've forgotten the word.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, actually, I've forgotten the word. Yeah. Are we talking making people not want to come back or not coming back at all?
Whichever you think will work better for defending the fort.
Trebuchets and flamethrowers it is.
Sounds like a plan.
Now I really want trebuchets that fire flamethrowers.
Those are called napalm bombs, Eric.
Alchemical fire.
Yes.
All right. All right. So, as Cadrix is walking back down off the hill, he looks very pleased with himself. He's got a sample of grass. You see, he's picked up a sample of the grass off the top of the hill. He's got in a jar, and he seems very pleased about this. When you all hear sort of a shriek, the unmistakable shriek of a bird of prey, and you see a black form come diving down to the sky, and just pull up suddenly and to sort of land on top of Kydrix's staff. And you see a very sort of unsettlingly predatory looking, birds of prey look predatory, right?
Right.
This looks more predatory than that somehow.
It's a dire bird of prey.
Kinda. Not huge though. It's about the size of a falcon basically. With a
So we just
wickedly
land.
curved beak, ink black feathers, and red eyes.
It just lands on his staff.
Yes, lands on his staff.
Yes. It had
Okay.
spike.
In that case, Diesel's shield is still in his hand as opposed to having been launched.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Ring the chickens.
Mange's chain appears as if from nowhere, and he's like right there by the boss.
The boss is like, what?
You are having a new guest on staff, it looks.
It does. Then all of a sudden you hear the bird sort of go, Ah, right. Mernuria sends his regards and wishes to let Kydrix know that he has entered Menuria's territory. This is something that will have to be discussed in the future, but can be handled later. However, more importantly, a meeting of the Dreadlords has been called. We shall be gathering at Menuria's fortress in 2 weeks' time. Kydrix is recommended to be there if he wishes a voice in the discussions. That is all. And it flies off.
Why can't these guys all show up at the same time so we don't have to explain ourselves 15 bloody times?
Mange is glaring at the bird until it's out of until it's out of sight.
Yep.
And it's you've never seen Mange's hackles get raised, but they are definitely up.
Kydrix just like blinks. Kydrix is blinking a few times. Huh.
This is the first time I've been invited.
Actually, yes. The Dreadlords don't meet very often. Not since before I was acknowledged as one of them. Huh. Well, that's going to be interesting.
We are needing to put together.
Well, we'll have to
We're needing
figure
to
out.
learn more about them.
I'll need to figure out if I want to go or not. Yes.
Is probably a good idea, boss. These people are your equals, and we are in one's territories. A good idea to say hi, even if it is one we are not liking so much.
This is true.
Well,
Well-
he pops up. It's gonna be the biggest bash of the season. All the guilds are gonna be there.
Oh, goody. And unless anybody's got anything else they want to do, that is where I've planned up to.
An appropriate cliffhanger.
That's
So.
sort of what I thought.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going to wrap for this week. Someone should roll the die of destiny this week.
Well, Mange was chewing the scenery all night.
I kind of hogged the spot. Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's fine. It was fine. You did great.
Totally your fault I fell asleep, fuck's sake.
It is.
And you do not awesome up. Eric rolled a 5.
Shame.
Terrible.
All right, so that is going to do it for the recording this week, folks. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. The recording will be going, for those of you watching live, the recording is going to be going up on YouTube and Podbean tonight at some point, probably. If you're listening on YouTube or on Podbean, hi! Thank you for listening. We record the show live on
Hello,
Wednesday
future
afternoons, starting at around 2 p.m. Eastern, over on twitch.tv/MechaGM. The recording goes up onto my YouTube channel, which is at youtube.com/c/MechaGM, and onto Podbean, which is mechagm.podbean.com. You can find the recordings of the game any of those 3 places. If you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to throw us a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it. Comment if you got things you want to say or anything like that. Feed the algorithm. That's great. And if you think other people you know would enjoy it, spread it around.
Tell everyone, feed the beast.
Yes.
Validators!
And you can hit me up on Twitter if you've got questions about the game or anything like that. My Twitter handle is @MechaGM. Yeah, MechaGM. If you look for MechaGM online, it's almost certainly me.
As opposed to looking up Word on the Wind, in which case you're half likely to find some kind of a Christian book.
Huh. Interesting word.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
some hack writer decided to name their biblical nonce Word on the Wind.
Okay. I can see where that would come from for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for this week, folks. Thank you for watching. I hope you all had fun. We had a blast as usual, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.